What is going on, guys? Andrew Acevedo here, back with episode again 17 of Rhino Hour. Welcome back to night 2 of Wrestlemania 2022 review. And it was a show. I'll give it that. WrestleMania was fun. And maybe I'm being too negative, or maybe I'm just used to watching AEW and seeing paper, but it was a fun show. I'll give it that. Maybe because I'm maybe not as invested as I used to be, where I'm just like, you know, some of this was all right. Some was like, do I really need to see this? But we're just going to go over, talk about the card and what happened tonight on Sunday, night 2 of WrestleMania. So they opened the show with Triple H coming out. And obviously, he got a big pop. Obviously, he said on the Stephen A's World on ESPN said he was officially retired because obviously he had to. So he comes out and gets the big entrance and takes a long time just taking in the crowd, all the love. And he does his like welcome to NXT, kind of the welcome to WrestleMania, while also leaving his what's it called, boots in the ring. Pyro goes off, do the video, whatever, to open the show. But, Hunter's done, and it does suck. But, hey, Hunter's done it for a long enough time. He gets to go out this way. Obviously, you wish you would have had his last match. Pat McAfee is insane. We'll get to Pat in a second, in a little bit. But open the show, triple threat Raw Tag Team title match. RK Bro defending against the Street Profits and Alpha Academy. Fun opener. RK Bro is probably the best thing going in WWE right now. Their chemistry, those two guys together is just a perfect blend of stupidity but also seriousness, and they can go in the ring. So of course you had the crazy spots with the double DDT with RK Bro. Then you had Otis going crazy because he's a big man. He likes running through everybody. Gable was doing his stupid thing, and Gable got the post-match angle. But RK Bro retained with both of them hitting stupid RKOs. Riddle hitting a springboard RKO on, I believe it was Montez. And then Randy hit a beautiful just jumping RKO out of nowhere, Matt, with Gable just jumping into an RKO. They retain the titles. Fun match. But then we get to the post-match, and Gable, obviously, we thought there'd be a heel turn. There was some, maybe some potential heel turn from the Street Profits, which they came out. They have the cups, and they give a toast to, give a cup to Orton, give a cup to Riddle. And then they Gable Steveson, which again, they made a big deal about Gable Steveson, and this is why. They go to do the toast. Gable slaps Gable Stevenson's cup out of his hand, and the guys are like, oh, this is not going to go well. And Gable Steveson just throws a beautiful, just over the shoulder, belly to belly throw. Nothing crazy. Didn't hit like, his finish or whatever. Just a simple throw. And there's kind of that first interaction with Gable Steveson and a main roster Raw superstar. Maybe we don't know how soon he's going to be on the main roster. We'll see what they do with him. They seem to have big plans for him, so we will see. It's his first WrestleMania moment. Then we moved on to, I guess, again, the kind of was a piss break match, but, second match on the card isn't the best spot on the card. Bobby Lashley taking on Omos get Omos on the card, and Bobby Lashley gets a big win with the spear. Omos is the version of the Great Khali. Can't really wrestle, can't really do something, but he's very tall. Lashley, thank God, gets the win with the spear. Hit a spear to the back, and then a normal spear to beat Omos. You know what? Hey, cool. Good to feed up to a bigger star in Bobby Lashley. Good for Bobby. Then we're moving on to Johnny Knoxville taking on Sami Zayn in an anything goes match. And it was something. I'll give it that. It was, their kind of street fight, have fun weapons match. Obviously, you had a fire extinguisher spot, a trash can, a stop sign, pretty much a cookie sheet. Then you had the crew from Jack, and you knew it was going to be just blatantly stupid. Sammy wins. No, practically nothing. But I turned it on because exactly. Yeah, Pat was awesome, and I think that's what obviously they use guys like Logan Paul, and which Johnny Knoxville with Pat to bring in that just the casual fan. It was fun, but the Knoxville shit, it was stupid. Ends with a giant mouse trap. I didn't really care. Knoxville gets the win. Who cares? Again, Sammy, thank God he gets rewarded for something, but fun match. Who really cares? Moving on to another match. Again, I really didn't care. The women's tag match. Queen Zelina and Carmella defending against Sasha, Naomi, Liv for Brutality, Liv, Morgan, and Rhea Ripley, and Natalia and Shayna. This was the get all the women on the card match, and it was fun. Again, you had a double Tower of Doom spot with Liv and Rhea being on the bottom. Then you had just kind of big matches. Sasha and Rhea had their little altercation, and then Corey on commentary was probably the most fun, just having him just simp over, obviously, with Carmella. But again, it was okay. Then we go to the finish. Naomi and Sasha win. Or not, yeah, Sasha win. I don't know why I said that. But yeah, Naomi and Sasha win with like a code breaker flatliner. I don't know what it was. But Sasha gets another WrestleMania moment, wins the titles. And the best part was just Corey Graves on commentary, just going absolutely ballistic. Then we moved on to AJ and Edge. The match I cared most about on this whole card was Edge and AJ. And it was solid. Again, it wasn't to the level I thought they were, but obviously I think they're keeping a lot of stuff for the rematch in the third. And there's going to be a trilogy because knowing WWE, maybe they have a big blow-off match at either Money in the Bank or SummerSlam. That match was going to be better. But, just to have a first match, it was fun. You had AJ just working the knee. And you knew it was going to end with a springboard spear from Edge, or at least that spot was going to be in the match. And we get Damian Priest coming out, which there was a rumor yesterday. I think Sean Ross Sapp put out like, hey, they're thinking about putting an Edge faction together, and Damian Priest was going to be a part of it. And sure as shit, there we go. AJ's going for the Phenomenal Forum, and then Damian Priest just standing right there. AJ gets distracted. He gets hit with the springboard spear. And now we're getting this Edge faction with Damian Priest, and Sean Ross Sapp has tweeted out after the show that there's going to be another member that he'll report tomorrow. So Edge looks to be getting his faction. We'll see who the other member is, but this is interesting. Kind of, I wouldn't say somebody said the House of Edge, or just a brooding, maybe a new version of the Brood, maybe you can say, is heel Edge getting some flunkies. Damian Priest really isn't doing much. He was feuding with Finn Balor a little bit, but it's an interesting putting him and Edge together. Obviously, some dark characters. We'll see where it goes. Priest, people liked him and, had high expectations for him. Now he kind of faltered after losing the title, but we'll see. I'll give it a chance, see where it goes. Obviously, we're going to get a rematch with AJ. He's going to be like, hey, I didn't lose clean. Your guy just randomly shows up. But fun match. Again, they're going to have way better matches either at Money. Let's say the big blow-off match. If it's at SummerSlam or Money in the Bank, maybe they'll have the second match at WrestleMania Backlash, which maybe AJ gets his win back, and then move on to that third match of either Money in the Bank or SummerSlam. New Day in taking on Sheamus and Ridge Holland was just a complete squash of the New Day, pretty much. Pete Dunne was running around interference. I'm not calling him Butch. No. Pete Dunne was just acting like an idiot. Sheamus hits a bunch of broad kicks, and they win. Ridge Holland hits his finish and pretty much wins. It was literally like 5 minutes, not even that. Let's talk Pat McAfee and what the hell we watched with Pat McAfee and Austin Theory. Vince comes out with Theory, and Pat comes out with the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. Got the crowd going nuts. And it was what we expected. It was the same match pretty much as the Adam Cole one from NXT TakeOver 25, where you got pretty much all the same spots. He went for the Swanton, missed. He hit the jump from the top rope into the vertical suplex or superplex. And the finish was weird. It was like, again, he went for, Theory was going for like his spinning TKO into a crucifix where he wins. And we're like, all right, cool, Pat wins. And then we just get into what the hell, because Pat's now calling out Vince. Vince gets in the ring, and we're like, are they going to have a Vince and Pat match? Just impromptu, randomly. Sure as shit, here comes the ref, and we're like, what the hell is going on? They have their match. Pat just sells some crappy offense from Vince. Obviously, Vince is a 77-year-old man, and the worst spot was yet to come for Vince. And Vince beats Pat McAfee in a match, which the fact that in the history books that Pat McAfee fought Vince McMahon at WrestleMania, which was rumored before they did the interview on McAfee's show. And it just doesn't make sense to me because there really wasn't anything that, like, Vince should have wants to fight Pat. It was like, oh, Pat, you want to be all right? Like, because there was nothing set up at the show. Unlike the Adam Cole segment, where like obviously Cole walked off and you think, okay, that's gonna be, that's something to move on to a match. It was pretty cool. Nothing that really was like, oh, big. It's just like, hey, you're gonna have a match at WrestleMania. I'm gonna pick your opponent, and that was it. Like there wasn't anything. And then we just got this. It felt like it was probably like 7 minutes. It felt like 20 of Vince just being or Pat overselling for Vince, and Vince wins with like punting the ball into Pat's guts, and then post match, they're beating him up. Nothing, and then this whole segment just took forever. They throw out McAfee, and they're just celebrating Austin Theory and Vince together. They're raising their hands like, "Hey, we won!" And then we're waiting, and nothing. They're still gloating, and they're still the timing for this part was bad because it seemed like 20 minutes and nothing was happening, and they were just doing. And we knew it was going to be Stone Cold. We knew he was coming because Vince is in the ring. You knew it was going to be Austin was getting involved here. And finally, after it felt like 20 minutes, the glass broke. Here comes Austin in the same gear he was wearing yesterday, the same jeans and shorts. Down comes Stunners to Theory, and obviously he's doing the same. Hey, Vince, you want a beer? And probably the worst stunner of all time. Vince trips over, drops on a knee, bounces off the ropes. Austin kicks him in the gut to take it. It was the most. It had to be the worst stunner of all time. You could easily say that was probably the worst stunner ever. It was bad. And then obviously after he clears out Vince in the ring, fights Pat. Also, Theory had the best stunner sell. But then McAfee kind of one-upped him, which Austin Theory sold the shit out of his stunner. Then obviously he gave Pat a beer, drank with Pat for a little while, and he said, all right, here you go. He gets hit with the stunner. And Pat does the beer spitting. It was beautifully sold by Pat. And Austin again shows up and does that. Yeah, literally anyone could have taken that stunner better. But he's an old man, and it showed a 77-year-old man. Yeah, but all that being said, Pat McAfee beat Austin Theory, and then Vince McMahon beat Pat McAfee. WrestleMania doesn't make sense. This was it was fun because I really like Pat. And obviously the match with Cole and NXT TakeOver was great. And I was like, this is going to be fun. And it was fun. And then the Vince stuff just really was like, what? I mean, it was leading to Stone Cold, but the pacing and timing was just like, it was not great. And then I think we move into the main event. Speaking of just quick, rampant stunners, the main event, their so-called biggest WrestleMania match for the Universal and WWE Championships. Brock Lesnar taking on Roman Reigns, and it was more of a match that we expected. Finisher spamming and the Brock Lesnar special, how to beat Brock Lesnar. Roman speared Brock early into the barricade and hit another spear. Brock kicked out. Then Brock hit his 7 suplexes. Then Roman hit a bunch of Superman punches. Then the ref bump, Roman speared Brock into the ref bump. And in this special, to how to beat Brock Lesnar, just hit him right in the penis. The Brock Lesnar special. Seth's done it. Roman's done it. Drew's done it. Just hit him in the dick, and that's how you beat Brock Lesnar. And he went for a spear. It was a good false finish, near fall with the locking him into the Kimura, and everyone's like, Paul pushes the rope. He gets out of it. He screams, hey, my shoulder's out. Then the next, Brock goes up for another F5. Roman gets out. Roman hits Brock with the spear. 1, 2, 3. Bingo, bango. We're done. Universal Champion and WWE Champion, Roman Reigns. And that was it. It was like 10 minutes. And obviously, I've seen a lot of people say, I agree. We've seen better matches, but we've seen this match about 300 times. Hopefully, this is the last time we ever see this match. And we just move on. Roman wins. We'll see who's going to beat him. When is he going to lose that title? At this point, it's kind of have to be a Money in the Bank cash-in, but he doesn't wrestle, so that doesn't even look likely. And this is what I don't like about this Roman whole reign. Where like the difference, I'll take Kenny Omega an example with the AEW championship. Like when Kenny was going God mode in AEW, Kenny Omega still like showed and wrestled every couple weeks and seemed beatable. This guy's built like goddamn Superman, where he ain't losing at all. He doesn't wrestle. He only wrestles once a month, and he's just like, nope. He legit. No one can beat this guy, and there's not a believable champ, a guy who can beat him. Seth's the only option, and they've already beaten him. Seth beat him at the Rumble. They wasted that one, so I don't know. I know a lot of people are, I don't think Roman's, I think this run's been, I don't think this run is great. I don't think Roman's that good, but he's, he's Vince's guy. He gets his win. I love that he got the Pyro didn't, again, timing on the last hour of the show was terrible because Roman's trying to get like the ending of WrestleMania Pyro. That didn't even go off for Roman. So even the Pyro team's like, this really wasn't it. So overall, WrestleMania 2022, both nights, night one was better, I'd say. Pat McAfee was great. AJ and Edge, we know is going to get a lot better. And it was a good match, but we know they have better ones in them. And Roman's the champ. Nobody's surprised. So leave in the comment section down below, what did you think of WrestleMania? Drop your favorite match of the whole weekend. I still think my favorite match was probably Edge, Cody, and Seth. Match of the weekend is, at least in these two nights, probably Becky and Becky and Bianca. We'll see where it goes Raw after Mania tomorrow. We'll see who shows up. Probably like Bayley, Asuka. We'll see what other surprises they have in store. So thank you guys for watching. Be sure to drop a like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.